All right, listen up, Captain Maris barked, pacing the dimly lit salvage bay. Standard sweep, no surprises. If it's not bolted down or radioactive, we tag it and haul it. Let's move. We're burning hours. The crew muttered a half-hearted aye, dispersing into the stale corridors of the derelict ship. It smelled wrong, not rotting, just wrong. By the time they hit the crew quarters, Hartley, the rookie, was already whining. How's it dusty in 0G? Does it grow out here? He smeared a finger across a bulkhead, inspecting the grimy residue like it had personally offended him. Focus, said Griggs, the engineer. You're here to pull panels, not play detective. Hey, what's that? Rourke, the cargo specialist, pointed into a room. Sitting on a bunk, bathed in the thin beam of a wrist light, was a teddy bear, small, tattered, one eye missing. Great! Creepy! Moving on! Maris snapped, her tone firm but distant. Someone's kid's toy, Hartley offered, stepping closer. You want to cradle it too? Griggs smirked, pulling open a storage locker. Hartley frowned, but the teddy stayed put, watching, or so it seemed. The second time they saw it, Hartley swore aloud. No way! I'm serious! No way! It was on a different bunk, 3 doors down. Same slumped posture, same blank gaze. You sure it wasn't here before? Rourke asked. No, Hartley replied, voice tight. It was 2 rooms back, I swear. Ship's big, kid. You're confused, Griggs said, but his tone had an edge now, brittle. Let's just bag the damn thing, Maris said. Scan it for traps later. Hartley grabbed it hesitantly, holding it like it might bite. They shoved it into a storage locker, sealed the hatch, and continued their sweep. An hour later, they returned to find the bear sitting on the bunk again. You've got to be kidding me, Rourke muttered, leaning against the door frame. It's not teleporting, Hartley whispered, his face pale. Someone's moving it. We're the only ones here, Maris replied, but her hand was already on her sidearm. The crew started arguing. Griggs accused Hartley of pranking them. Rourke sided with Hartley, but his voice wavered. The locker where they'd stashed the bear was still sealed, unbroken. Could it be old automation systems? Rourke ventured. Like some maintenance bot screwing with us? No tracks, Maris said curtly. Nothing on sensors, that bear's just moving. The silence stretched. They locked it away again, this time in the medbay's storage vault, behind reinforced doors. 20 minutes later, it was back, same bunk, facing the door this time. The crew stopped pretending it was funny. Maris, Griggs said, voice low. This is screwing with us. You've got to call it. We're not staying on this ghost ship with that thing creeping around. Maris glared at him but said nothing. Her silence spoke volumes. By the 3rd day, the crew was unraveling. Hartley wouldn't sleep. Griggs barely spoke, flinching at shadows. Even Rourke, the easygoing one, started muttering to himself. They sealed the bear in crates, stuffed it into storage tubes, even tried tossing it out an airlock, but the thing always reappeared, waiting, watching. We should have left yesterday, Rourke said, pacing the galley. We don't walk out on jobs, Maris growled. This isn't a job, Griggs replied, not looking up. It's a death sentence. That thing's not right, Maris. None of this is right. Maris opened her mouth, but the lights flickered. A power surge, subtle but enough to freeze everyone in place. When they reached the bridge, the teddy was sitting in the captain's chair. They didn't make a speech, didn't draw straws. No grand exit, just a silent, desperate retreat to their own ship, engines roaring as they left the derelict behind. As they cleared the docking clamps, Hartley dared one last look back. There it was. The teddy stood at the observation window, one paw pressed against the glass. It's just a trick of the light, Maris muttered, but no one argued. Back aboard their own vessel, no one talked about returning, though the captain logged an official report. Further investigation required. Still, the crew scattered at the first station they reached, contracts unfulfilled, radios unanswered. No one said it aloud, but they all knew. None of them would ever go back, and the derelict ship continued its lonely drift, a child's toy forever waiting.